The Chicago market is different. Our process here is pretty different in some very specific ways from other markets. I have colleagues all over the country who I talk to, and I hear different things about how they treat deposits or how they do or don't work with attorneys. And it's important for you to know what your risks and protections are as you come into buying a condo here in Chicago. Our purchase contract has some protections that are not present in other markets. While the inspection process is pretty standard across markets that I've heard of. You have an inspection contingency that allows you to look at the major systems of the home. You may not actually have your deposit protected in other markets. Here in Chicago, we typically have two basic contingencies in the contract that protect your earnest money, meaning you put that earnest money up, you have attorney review, and you also have the inspection period. And if there's a lack of agreement or something that is not what you expected involving the major systems of the property, then you can get out of that transaction and you can get a full return of earnest money, unless there's some weird clause or contingency or modification to the contract that's taken place. That is something that is different from other places where even if you're protected by an inspection clause or something, there's some loss of deposit that can happen regardless. So coming into Chicago, there's a lot of complexity with our condo associations and with some of our homes that can be a little bit older, but you also have corresponding protections that help you evaluate and do your due diligence without putting your money at risk. Of course, involving other professionals, such as an attorney, might be new to you. And we can explain that process to you, how brokers in Illinois are not allowed to practice law and what that means for the title relationships and all of those things if you are new to our market or just haven't bought and sold in a while. Oftentimes people will say, I want this to be a second home. I want a weekend condo or a summer condo. And their expectation is we're going to, be there for 2 months out of the year, and we want to have the flexibility to rent it out on a daily basis and Airbnb it or whatever. Well, the reality in our market is that the vast majority of condo associations will not allow short-term rentals. And that's not just one building, two buildings. It is practically all of them. So if your plan relies on the ability to do a daily rental or even a monthly rental is only possible in a couple of buildings, and those buildings may not be where you want them to be or what you want them to be. It's important to have an early conversation about how important it really is to have that daily, monthly flexibility to rent, because many of our buildings have a 6-month minimum and some have a 12-month minimum lease requirement. Others allow no rentals at all, or they have a cap on the number of rentals that are allowed to happen at any particular time in the building. An example might be a building that has a 20% rental cap. That building will absolutely not allow more than 20% of its units to be rented at any point in time. Once you reach the cap, you might go onto a waiting list that could be months or years long. I may reach out to you and say, tell me a little bit about what you're looking to do, not only right now, but 5 years from now. What do you intend to do with this condo? And that's not me trying to be overly intrusive. It's me trying to assess which buildings will actually be the best fit for you and not waste your time. The best first step to take would be to schedule a free, no obligation discovery call with me to go over your options. I spend usually about 45 minutes to an hour with new buying clients, just educating them on the market and the process before they go out and start running into brick walls all over the place. Please do reach out and get one of those scheduled. I'm happy to talk to you and help your decision making up front.